Hello, I'm Andrea, and this is Creative Dream TV. This week I'm answering a question from Sophie. And Sophie says, I'm a freelance editor who often works directly with writers. My clientele, writers, are notoriously poor. I feel the service I provide is valuable, but I feel guilty charging what I think I should be earning because I know that so many of my clients will struggle to find the money. What should I do? Should I try to find a different clientele? How can I find the balance between what my clients can pay and what I need to earn? So here's the deal. I have just spent the past couple of hours doing take after take after take after take, attempting to answer this question. This is not how any of my other videos have gone. This is what I do is I meditate on the question until I know for sure how I want to answer it, and then I just do it. And I'm realizing with this one, the more I keep trying to answer it, the harder it gets to answer. And I'm also feeling kind of frustrated because it's really, really important to me, this kind of thing about creative dreamers having a hard time valuing themselves and not feeling guilty about asking for money for their work for a fair exchange. Right? It's rampant. it's everywhere, and it's what makes creative dreaming so hard. So I'm feeling like I want to give some answer that helps and that changes it right away, and that's not possible. You know, this is what all of my work does. I mean, the Creative Dream Incubator Kit, especially guiding you through the whole process of working on it from the inside out, because dreams happen inside of you, and because asking for money and feeling good about it has to start inside of you. Right? So it's very, very complicated. So I'm just going to give a very kind of quick answer, sort of quick compared to what I would like to give, which would take days and days and days to go through the whole thing. So the easy quick fix that business people would say is that you have to have this list of things that you're really good at. I would add that you love to do, that feel like expressions of your purpose and your creativity, things that light you up. Have that list. And then look at that and figure out where there are things that people would be happy and willing and able to pay you for. And then just noticing, I would do it as two circles and seeing where the circles intersect. So the circle of the things that light me up, that I love to do, that I'm really good at, and then the circle of people who are looking and willing and able and ready to buy these things, and then see where it matches up. If you set up a business from that place where it's really clear, you're setting yourself up to make things easier. What most creative people do is that we want to do something and we want to do it exactly the way that we want to do it, and then we want to just put it out there and have everybody love it. And that is setting yourself up for things to be very, very hard. And I know that through a lot of personal experience. And I know now through actually taking the time to learn more about business and to understand how it works, I know now how to set things up to make it easier for me to get the income that I need to keep doing the work that I want to do. So there's nothing wrong with just doing your creative stuff and not making any money from it. Obviously, it's not a business then, it's a hobby, and you still need a source of income because money is important. And so if you want to spend all of your time doing your creative stuff, you have to figure out how to do it in such a way that it provides income. That's why I'm wearing this crown today that I made. This is the first time I've ever done felting. I knitted it and then felted it. I'm very, very proud of it. And I'm wearing it because sovereignty, because it's about taking creative control over your life. It's about not trying to take care of everyone else, but actually take care of you first, which puts you in a position of truly being able to serve others in the most effective way. There's so much to say about that to get to it, and I can't say all of that here. There's also, when it comes to business, I just released the Creative Business Incubator. If you're interested in that, it's in my Creative Dream Circle. All of the circle members get the Creative Business Incubator for free. And in the introduction to the Creative Business Incubator, I talk about Joseph Campbell and his work with mythology, and this class that I took where we had to create our own personal mythology, kind of drawing on Joseph Campbell's work. What was so cool and interesting and surprising for me in that is finding that the big journey, the main journey, isn't the journey to where the hero sets off away from everything that she knows and goes off on an adventure and slays dragons and gets through all these booby traps and finds the treasure. That's not the big adventure. The adventure starts when she's found that treasure, and now she has to bring the treasure back into the world. So that's how I see creative dream business, the way that we do business through business as a way of supporting us in living lives that feel true to who we are. So for me, it's that having a job just simply takes up too much time and doesn't let me do the things that I really want to do. So I need to figure out how to do it, the things that I know that I'm here to do, my purpose things. I have to figure out how to do them as my livelihood. So that's the act of taking the treasure and bringing it back into the world. So that's the greater journey. It's an epic, epic, epic journey. So even though there's this simple thing of looking at what do you have to offer, and then who are the people who want it and how much do they want to pay, and then you have to sort of do the math and figure out how do you set things up so that you get the income you want. It's not simple because of feeling guilty, because of sometimes we feel like a fraud, sometimes we doubt our own value, sometimes we doubt that it's possible that we can do what we want because like hardly anyone else out there is happy, so why should we be? All of these crazy ideas that we have, all of these limiting beliefs, all of the fear, all of the doubt, guilt, all of that. It's overcoming, working through, and transforming all of that, which is all an inside job. That's not about changing what we're doing on the outside. But all of that inner work makes it easier for us to set up businesses with systems that work for us. So in this case with Sophie, feeling that her clients can't afford her work, that's a really big obstacle to be facing on a daily basis. And pretty much all of us have a similar kind of obstacle. It might be different. A lot of artists, it's sometimes it's hard to believe that people pay lots of money for art. I know sometimes I wonder, like when people buy things from me, I wonder if they really wanted to buy it or what's going on there. And it's those kind of self-doubt things that keep us from being able to just be clean and clear about how we set up businesses to be profitable. And so I really wanted to give Sophie some kind of easy thing that she could do now to help make things better. And I found that the more I looked at it and the more I thought about it, the deeper it got, because there are issues of sovereignty and taking care of you first in terms of wanting to meet everyone else's needs and wanting the prices to work for them, even though that is a part of business, but that's also a part of sovereignty. It's very twisty there, and it would take a really long time to get into that and explain it. And then there's of course the part where you're feeling guilty. So I wanted to focus on that part and give you something that can at least help you to get started for now. So when you feel guilty, what you want to do is give the guilt a voice or make it into a character. I kind of imagine it as a little being and talk to it. Be kind and gentle, because this is a part of you and you want to love yourself and you want to be loving and kind and gentle. So be kind and gentle, but you can also be firm, and you can be the grown-up. You can be the one in charge of the conversation here, and you can be the one saying, hey, sweetie, I need to charge these people for this work. I know that I'm doing good work. I know that it's helping them. I know that I'm not holding a gun to their head and telling them to buy my services. they made the choice to hire me, and I have to then charge them for it, and feeling guilty about it really it's weighing me down. It's slowing me down. It's making things harder than they need to be. So we need to talk about this. I need to find out from you what do you really want? You can't really want me to feel guilty, right? What's really going on, and what can I do to help you feel better? I have a lot of those kinds of conversations, and they go on and on and on, and they happen repeatedly. It's not something that you do once and, woo, everything's fine now. But it's an ongoing way of being in relationship with the guilt and shifting the relationship. Because right now it's kind of like the guilt holds you hostage, and you want to sort of get your power back and be in a more loving and conscious relationship with it, so that it would tangle you up a little less, and then you can see if your perspective on what's happening in your business changes. I think it will. And then you can look at your business model. Is it sustainable for you? So at the prices you have now, and at the amount of work that you can do, and be careful, because sometimes we think we can do more than we can, but honoring your actual creative capacity, because when you work inside your actual creative capacity, you do your best work, and you want to do your best work. So if, being really practical about how much work you can get done and how much you're being paid for the work, does that pay you appropriately? And then look at the math and juggle it, and start to get creative and figure out how can you make this work on a very practical level, while at the same time continuing to interact with the guilt and any other inner critics or doubts or fears come up along the way. So as I said, it's a very long, big thing. All of the products that I have, like the Creative Dream Incubator or the Creative Dream Circle, can totally help with that if you want more help from me. Or you can just keep going with those kinds of steps and keep working on it on your own. For everybody listening, you have valuable, important, needed gifts to offer the world. You deserve to be paid for them. And it's up to you to do the inner work you have to do to untangle what's ever going on, to open yourself up to receive that income. That's the really important work that we do as creative dreamers. And I will see you next week on Creative Dream TV.